Change your thinking, change your life. Final expense telesales, the way of the future. That was a slogan that I used in my marketing many years ago when I started promoting final expense telephone sales over the phone. It was probably about 2011 when I teamed up with Senior Life. Change your thinking, change your life. And it's crazy because back then, so many agents were totally discouraged about telephone sales, mainly because of the amount of negativity that was spread by the old timers that had never sold insurance over the telephone, but yet talk shit about final expense telesales. And let me tell you what, for many, many years, it was always met with resistance and negativity. It took coronavirus, the pandemic, to force everybody on the telephones. And to me, that was a huge step in the right direction. You know, for all these years, I've been on here promoting telesales, people that, want to live in the country like I do. Maybe you don't want to travel anymore. You don't want to be in bad neighborhoods. And I would always promote it. And this morning, in fact, I was watching a podcast of a gentleman, and he was interviewing a well-known life insurance company. And the company said that a few years ago, over 50% of their business was face-to-face. And nowadays, 90% of this large insurance company is telesales. Let that sink in. And I share this because how many people that you remember, especially for you old timers, that talk shit about telesales? They talk shit about me. I'm sure they still talk shit, but they're not talking shit about telesales. That's a fact. But think about that. Where are these people? A lot of the people that talk shit about telesales, it's funny to say, but I would say most of them are on the telephone now promoting telesales. And you would never think that they, in their past, talk shit. And now they're teaching others how to do it. Others disappeared. They either died, they got old, retired, or they fizzled out like most insurance agents. But again, here we are, 2025, and exactly what I said that would happen is happening. Everyone's on the telephones. In fact, this morning, I was on the phone with my bank. And right before I got to talk to my bank teller on the phone, they asked for a voice sample. And the bank said that our voice signature, our voice, is just as unique as our fingerprints. Think about that. Okay? Think about that. Our voice is just as unique as our fingerprints. And this is the bank. So you give them your voice sample and they're able to identify you. And I share that because, again, years ago, one of the biggest issues was that voice signatures were not doable. Most of these haters would talk about how you couldn't sell insurance over the phone, a voice signature wasn't enough. Now what? And I really hope that these agents and agency managers, wherever they're at, whether they're retired, if they're even in the business any longer, or maybe they're working at Walmart or Home Depot as a courtesy host, I hope you're really watching this video here today. Because a lot of you guys that talk bad about telesales, again, you never once sold insurance. You never once picked up the phone and tried it. But you talk shit. I hope you're really enjoying what you're watching, because I'm loving it. Again, this well-known life insurance company stated that over 90% of their business today is 100% over the telephones. Crazy stuff. So it brings me to this. Nowadays, you go on YouTube and everyone is a telephone expert. Again, even the people that talk shit about it are now experts. So how do you find the right place, the right center? Carriers, there's a handful of carriers out there. I got my favorite one, Senior Life being my number one carrier. Why? Because my policies stay on the books and they're paying. But we do have other companies that we're direct to. But that's easy. A carrier can come and go. Bottom line, leads, very important. And a lot of the people that are out there promoting telesales nowadays, they say they're teaching people how to sell over the phones, but they're either doing preset appointments, which is bullshit, or they're having you call leads where you're buying leads and calling them. Now, why are all those lead sources bullshit? Over the telephone, it's almost impossible to get people to pick up the phone. So if you're calling people that set up a preset appointment. Again, 70% of those appointments don't even show up. So now all the cost that you put into ad spend is going to the wastebasket. So what do you need? You need a carrier, you need leads, and you need the training. But more importantly, you need a system that you can pop in, pay for your leads every single day, and take leads daily without having to come in with a group or any of that. That works. Again, most people don't have those type of resources. We do. We have the center. We have the calls of thousands of people searching for final expense online, and they're calling our advertisements. And our system allows for an agent, whether you're a one person, to pay for your leads, whether it's 3 to 5 leads a day, and make money. So again, you need leads, you need a carrier, and you need the training, but more importantly, you need a system that you can jump in and participate. And most companies don't do that. Yeah, they teach you how to sell over the phone. Everyone's a telephone expert, right? But do they have a system? And if they don't, or it requires just a lot of money or a lot of pieces to make it work, give me an opportunity. We hire agents right now, the right agents, and they pay for their leads, $50 per inbound. But again, you don't have to come out of pocket with big money to set up a full operation or set up, accounts to do advertisements for you. All you got to do is just pay for your leads, and what you pay for is what you get. And the quality of our leads is like never ever seen before. It's extremely high. And if you like to see it firsthand, as long as you're licensed, I'll invite you and you can come and see for yourself exactly what our system looks like, what the lead quality looks like. But I'll tell you what, every single one of the agents that I've put on my platform in the last 2 years, not one single one has fallen under 20% in the training phase. So that's 20%. 1 out of every 5 inbounds, they're closing. So if you're watching this, it's 2025. God bless you. And if you're looking for an opportunity, hit me up. Peace.